Welcome. Episode 6. Voice of the Degens. I'm your host with the most, RickeyTru, your modern day smokesman. And we got some really good topics today. And we're going to get right into it. So let's get it started. Let's talk about it. So topic 1, the strategies for managing risk while investing in volatile crypto markets. Topic 2, the truth about online dating and why it's not as effective as people believe. Topic 3, the role of being a producer in today's music industry, the importance of balancing artistic vision with commercial success. Topic 4, the ethics of data collection and privacy on social media. And we'll round it out at the end. Topic 5, the influence of the press in shaping public opinion and political outcomes. We got some good friends with us today. We brought the lovely Spring is Dead. We brought Face. We got the accountant. We got Mark. We got Crypto Chick. We got CK. And Acer. Really, really good guys. Really good ladies. Sirs and Mims. We'll be getting this started off. Make sure you check out the token. Grab you a couple dollars worth. I tell people every week, just go buy you 0.01 BNB. Let's keep accumulating. Be surprised when it break out. We're gonna have a little musical break, and we're gonna get right into topic 1. Once again, you're here with the voice of the Degens.
Tried to give them alpha, they didn't want to hear it. They was fading.
We was in the lab.
Tried to give them something they might want to hear. They was hating.
We was in the lab.
Skimmer, they're still forking baked beans. No flavor.
What are you doing?
And I'm the voice of the Degens, so I'ma be a savior. Cause I got that alpha. I got that alpha. And I don't care nothing about the 10x. I don't care nothing about the 100x. Cause I got that alpha. Yeah, I got that alpha. Yeah, it's cool to get 1,000x. Look at some good alpha, you could go to bed. There ain't a honey pot, boy, that's a beehive. Stinger, you be losing in this game, and I see why. It's 3 a.m., man, you know that the G's out. And you know blind, they been got rugged 3 times. Got wrecked 3 times. I've been on the scanner and I done kicked 3 times. I'm in the alpha labs. Catch a good play and then I pad my bags. We don't like skims, we like bangers. Wash the G out and then put them on a hanger. Green candles higher than an R&B singer. G's got wrecked, oh that's a stinger. Hello sirs, we got that alpha. We got that alpha. Yeah, we got that alpha. Yeah, we got that alpha. And we don't care nothing about the 2x. And we don't care nothing about the 5x. We got that alpha. We got that alpha. Yeah, we got that alpha. Yeah, we got that alpha. Yeah, it's cool to get 1,000x. Look at some good alpha, you could go to bed. I'm in the alpha labs where I get my alpha max. Try hella bullish and it's no tax. I grab the big bag, but you already know that. I keep it in a burner wallet, I don't show that. And that there is alpha. Community alpha. And we ain't got to sell for a 3x. Diamond hands only know BS. Scammer devs still forking baked beans, and honestly, I just wanna see less. So I went to Alpha Labs. I went and got a bag. Cause I got that alpha. Yeah, I got that alpha. I got that alpha. Yeah, I got that alpha. And I don't care nothing about the 10x. I don't care nothing about the 100x. Cause I got that alpha. Yeah, I got that alpha. Yeah, I got that alpha. Yeah, it's cool to get 1,000x. Look at some good alpha, you could go to bed. Just hanging in the alpha lab. Tryna catch a good play. You know, scammer devs every day. You know, get you some good alpha in your life. That's probably what you got you all tired of. Being out of shape.
Back at it. Voice of the Degens. Your host, RickeyTru. And I got a whole slew of Degens in the building. And a couple who aren't. No shade, Crypto Chick. Let's get to the topic 1. We're going to have a conversation about strategies, maybe not the best strategies, just our strategies. Um, I think in this game of crypto we deal with, the more you learn about what the next person may be doing or how they're moving and how they're strategizing can help if for nothing else to help you see a different way to look at things. Everything's not black and white. Um, I got some hands up already. I'm gonna give my spiel and then I'm gonna lay the floor. Um, the strategies, the way I play it, and it's kind of cut and dry. It's a little cut and dry. It's DCA, dollar cost average, is the best way to get into a volatile market. Um, you got $10,000 sitting on the side, and you say, "Hey, I just heard about this new coin, and I want to get in it. So I'm just gonna drop my bag on it. I'm gonna drop $10,000 on it. And this project may be 400K market cap, 1 million market cap, 2 million market cap. These are all very volatile, especially when you look at the liquidity market cap ratios. This is a very volatile situation. And for you to throw your 10,000 on the line, you've put yourself in a position to be exit liquidity on some level. I mean, everyone's exit liquidity the moment they buy, you'd have to think. But it's all in the way you approach it. So if I have $10,000, I may be buying into this asset $50 at a time. I will $50 nickel and dime the shit out of that coin. Just because I want to be safe. Now, what's difficult in that is, well, what happens if the pump happens right when you bought in and you only put $50 in it? You could have had 5x that $50. If you were to put your 10K in, it'd be worth 50K. That's just not how it works. You'll be in chats and AMAs, and they'll talk like that's possible. Man, I've even seen projects with billions of dollar market cap and maybe 10 million in liquidity. And even those, it just doesn't work like that. You need big money to come in behind you to get those X's. So my strategy has always been DCA. Just 50 here. If my 50 is worth 40, buy another 50. If my 100 is now worth 70, buy another 50. If my 150 is worth 100, buy another one. And I do that until I see a positive situation. And that's kind of like with me, that's kind of like my signal. Once I see profit, stop buying. Hopefully I got enough tokens. Hopefully I got enough to feel comfortable in this project. But as soon as I start seeing profits, it's almost my sign that I'm not going to fall into FOMO and go throw, whoa, my $150 is now worth 1,000. Let me still throw another 1,000. I can turn that. No, it's not very smart from my opinion. And what do I know? I'm just a dumbass DJ. But that's kind of like where my mind goes when it comes to having a great strategy for managing my risk. I don't really want to put up more than 1% of my actual money up against anything, really. And if I am willing to put up the whole 100%, I'm going to do it in 0.5% intervals until it doesn't look good to me anymore. Spring is dead. I see you wanted to weigh in. Did you want to get in on this conversation?
No, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I just, at this point, have to stick with people that I know. Like, I mean, I feel like this space is it's so full of scammers, and there's so many different ways to do it, you know?
Facts.
You can
Do
get
you
on very easily, and people forget very easily, and just launch the next one. Let's keep going.
Yeah, farming is at an all-time high.
True.
Actually makes the space very difficult to maneuver through because you can get caught with so much people just farming LP. And We were talking about it last week where you had 10, a project dev who's done 10 projects. He's rugged all 10 like consecutively, right back after another. Then he hits his 11th project, but he's got so much money he's accumulated over these farming shits and this rugging that he's actually able to like launch a pretty good project.
A
And
decent
those,
project, that's
yeah,
exactly what they do. They go through their fucking shit project, you know, like just go through all of them, and then finally, like they'll put like a decent amount of money into LP and actually try and push it. And then, you know, like I could have launched the fucking project on my own. Like, let me just
right.
LP, you know?
I can dig it. I can dig it. Hey, CK, go ahead, bounce off of that, brother.
Oh yeah, but there's a lot of things, especially when it comes to farming. It's a lot of farmers. Another big one, I'm pretty sure most of us know, was the owner of Proof of Memes, the palm chain. Another one, he had a whole bunch of different projects, rugged them all, did a whole bunch of scandalous stuff, and held just a bunch of money, you know. And then it just all started coming to light. And so yeah, so I like when those things happen, when it actually comes to light and all these scammers, bad people in the space finally get taken down. But that's just
Deep
one
down,
way.
how do you feel about them? Like deep down, how do you feel when? I mean, what? It's a balance to it, I'm sure. So I'm thinking like, well, for one, his 11th project was very, very successful, very profitable, and he looks like he's sticking with it. But can I look past the 10 projects that he rugged me on, and then the 11th came, and I don't have money to buy into it?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't matter. I wouldn't even touch it with a 10-foot pole. It doesn't matter. I would not touch it. Anything with his name attached to it, I am not going to touch. It's just like there's a lot of people in the space. Like there's a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of people that they have the names, blah blah. There's a lot of things I just will not touch. If there's a name attached to it, I will not touch it. I don't trust it. And that's also a good way to manage risk, because you see who's actually involved in these things. And if you see projects and like, you know, and you see people leaving, and it's probably like some team members, a lot of stuff, you should start looking into that. Why do these people leave? And why like, so things start to add up. So that's another way to manage risk, is also being active and actually looking at things, look what's going on, look what these people have said, and just, that's another way to manage risk. But that's like more into the shitcoin level degens, finish the degens. But also managing risk also depends on your budget. So it's like whatever you throw in, expect to lose all of that. Always expect it. So only be okay with what you're willing to lose. Only throw in what you're willing to lose.
Facts.
I mean, I agree with that, but I also feel like, and this is kind of what I was saying before, you know, like people will put in like maybe what they're willing to lose, but you know, if you know, like if the goal is just to farm projects over and over and over and over and over again, I mean, that's not really on, I don't know. I mean, I guess it kind of is, because like it's kind of stupid of you to continue doing the same dead project, but people do, and that's what I was saying. Like people forget so easily. Like it's just like, oh, you rug this shit, we'll fucking buy this shit tomorrow. Like, okay.
One of the things I hate about this space is that everyone has such a low memory bank. It's like I've been rugged by someone and then screamed to the world, I got rugged by this guy. And that guy will disappear for a week and he'll show back up next week. He won't change his name. He won't change anything about him. And it's ugly. It actually gets pretty ugly.
Here's
Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna read this one too, but fucking buy in.
Yeah.
And it's funny enough that these scammers, they're getting more brave, and now they're starting to like show their faces when they do. Oh, trust me, it's my project. Like I'm docs, do this, and then it's like they get more brave, and I'm like, oh, beware, guys, beware. Just because you see that face doesn't mean that ain't gonna happen, and it eventually always happens.
I've seen someone rug while they're in the VC on camera, rugging it, looking at me, and clicking it.
Yep, and they'll still talk in the chat like, "Oh no, we got hacked. Something happened. What happened?" It's so funny. It's so funny how they do that, because it's like, come on, that's like the best setup ever. You're trying to be like, oh, was it me? It's like, come on. It's like,
Come on, yeah. This happens week after week.
it's like, who are you trying to fool? It's like, but a lot of people buy into it, and I'm like, well, I mean, to be fair, in this space, you can't save everybody. You can't tell everybody because not everybody wants to listen to it. I don't blame them because they're probably very mad because they lost a bunch of money. So it's kind of like the heat of the moment. But at the same time, you can't save everybody and tell people the
I
truth.
can dig it. Hey, yo, accountant, go ahead and hop in there. Give us your flavor.
When you get a chance, speaking of scams, you should speak to Secret Agent Q. I know he's not in here right now. He's probably just getting up on the other side of the world, but talk to him about 8-bit Dodge when you get a chance.
Secret Agent Q is not bashful about telling exactly how he feel. And I do remember 8-bit Doge. I do remember that. I'm not even finna say what I think comes with that because I'm not gonna do that. But I think it was a different project that was connected to that as well. And it was like a farming situation where we start off with this name and then we move on to this name. And it's just a derivative of the first name. And this is how we're gonna rock. I have ethics and I have integrity, but so if everybody's jumping off the cliff, doesn't mean I'm going to jump off the cliff with them. I move to a beat of my own drum, but I can't deny that is if everyone is into this kind of game and this is the game I've decided to play in, I have to play accordingly. And I can't be mad at anyone about the decisions I make along the way. Talk to us, Mr. Finney.
You know what drives me nuts that I keep seeing in this space about people I actually know that they keep launching project after project after project. And why don't you just have one project and then if you're going to do something else, do something completely different? You know, you just keep launching one every week and maybe one will hit. Maybe that's what it is.
Yes, it's weird that it plays that way, and it's the yin and the yang. It's like I get you, because if it didn't work on the first one and it didn't work on the second one, what are you supposed to quit? Say, no, I'm not going to do this anymore, or do you keep going for it? And because that's what anybody would tell you. If you lost 100 games, go for 101. Maybe your win is right around the corner. But at the same time, I happen to believe that there are a lot of people in this space who actually hope their project dies fast. They hope that the Degens and the Jeets, they get in, get out, boom, boom, boom. And when they have a successful project, they're actually scared because now I have to work. Now I actually have to care about what's going on. I got who do I got? I got Crypto Chick wants to weigh in.
Hey, friends. How's everybody doing?
Very well,
All
very
as
well.
So I kind of think as much as we all are Degens at heart and everything, I think that some of the most prestigious investors out there, no matter what the price ends up being, like they're very patient and they look for stuff that can be used. So like if there's like a project that I was to invest in but yet I never would use it, I think that's probably a problem. I think it's important to know like who's building and who's behind the scenes, and to make sure that it's something that you would actually use either temporarily or long term, because there's so much development happening in this space that some of it is kind of look at it like broken website links back in the day. If you have like a somebody could just create like a website and it looks all pretty and it looks all nice and everything, but if you just like go to purchase an item and you never get that item, then it's pointless. But if you take your time and you see something that's been being built and you'll use it for now on, then no matter what the price is, usually something like that's going to continue growing over time. And if you can find those that are right in the beginning, that have some amazing development that's happening, then you're putting yourself in a pretty good situation from the beginning.
I can dig it. I want to tell a quick story. So I was dealing with a guy who you might all know. He's pretty famous in the space. His name is Venom. I have a beautiful like togetherness when I think about how he thinks, because he's totally different than me. When I remember when I got in, I never wanted to really be the pump and dump kind of guy. I remember we were when the project was my first project, working with a project, and it was called Almighty Cake, and it came from a couple of us over at FEG as investors. We had all got together, had a conversation. That was like the beginning of the end for FEG. Unless you still believe in it, it's still coming back, and maybe it is. I don't know. But we went to a back room and had a conversation, and we decided that we wanted to do a project to launch on FEG. That got us really bad reviews from FEG because they really did. I didn't understand it. They were pretty mad that we did it that way, but we were trying to support their ecosystem. So we went. We had an idea. We said we're going to invite a couple of devs and talk to them and just see if somebody can whip us up a contract, because none of us were contract savvy at the time. We ran into Venom. Venom is a known degen. Like, he does, if it doesn't last a week, if it doesn't do the numbers he needs to do in a week, he's done with it. He's gonna pull that LP. He's gonna be gone. He's gonna do his next project. He's very, very popular in the space. He's had a few coins. I remember Venom Cake. That was back in the bull run where everybody had a cake. That was the trend at the time. And he had a lot of different projects. And we tried to sell him on, hey, man, just stick with it. We actually got you on this doing something. I think we ended up at like 150K. It was all organic, and it wasn't like sell-offs. We had real investors, people throwing fives of thousands, tens of thousands of dollars into this. And it was a hard meet in the middle situation. We wanted him to stop throwing those kind of projects around, but we wanted him to stick with ours. He ended up giving one of the guys on our team the dev wallet, ownership of the dev, and we ran it for as long as we could. But that was our first lesson in, man, every project's not gonna work. We had one of the most bullish degen devs at the time on it. But when you think about it, as we said last episode, most of us are here for money. So if we're here for money, we're going to get our gains, we're going to get the hell up out of there, and whoever's left behind is left behind. And it's a fucked up ass culture that we play in, but we chose this game because we know what the other side of things can look like and how many wins we have had. Anybody want to jump in for the last word on this topic? I got about 2 minutes. Somebody give me something really, really good. Talk to me.
But like, honestly, when it comes to managing risk, especially in this space, and if we're not talking about like, like exchange space or, futures trading, just managing risk is just knowing who's involved, knowing who's pushing it, knowing what's going on. It's always like, that's why you got to learn about networking in the space. You got to know who's part of this things. Because you'll see a project come out of nowhere and nobody's that's recognizable. Is it safe? Maybe. Is it not? Most likely, but you just never know. So it's all, you just got to do your research. That's the main thing in the space, is tell people just do your research. The research will help you a lot more in making better decisions on your investments.
DYOR, one of the most famous quotes in our space. The accountant, I got a minute for you, accountant. Give me some game.
Learn that blockchain. Learn that blockchain, man. So many people do not understand blockchain, and that's critical, I think.
Learn the wallet track. Learn the wallet track too.
That's what I was waiting for somebody to say. I wasn't gonna say it because it was gonna open up a can of worms. Face, I'm gonna give you a quote too, but definitely learn how to track wallets and learn how to track them right, because people get funny in this space with those wallets too. They can have you fooled. But Face, go ahead, throw me something, and then we'll get into the next topic. You there, Face? Okay.
The same thing. You got to learn how to track wallets. You have to learn the blockchain. People lie. Blockchain doesn't lie.
Yep, 100%.
That's a fact. Decentralized Army, you got something really quick? Go ahead.
Education is the key of success and everything else, guys. So constant education in anything.
Amen. Y'all heard it here from the Degens. This is the voice of the Degens. I am your host, RickeyTru. We're having a good time, man. Topic 1's dope. We got topic 2 coming up. And gonna have a little short song break. Let's get right to it. Voice of the Degens.
Private dev customer service. The way they be moving, they be making me nervous. Sheesh.
My main concern right now is that hydro.
Somebody said something about the gas fees. Shit, I guess the gas fees is too weak.
Fucking $10.
Sheesh.
Turn that shit probably into 50.
Broken C tried to ban my new album. They like send me, they don't wanna hear no alpha. I sold 12 on day one, I got powers. And Sammy know that he bought one the first hour. Fuck a broken C, I'll probably go to Crow. Probably hop in your VC while I'm rolling.
Hydro.
Probably cop an NFT tryna sweep the floor. Or find me in the milli hub, that's all you need to know. Wiz don't fuck with me like he ain't stuck with. We used to want 2 bins, now we want a buck. Used to try to play nice, then it kept dust. Started buying at the bottom, then they kept running. Stomach said keep going, boy, you be bust. Truthfully, I don't know a time that I wasn't. I'm a threat, yeah, they tryna stop my force. Knock me off course. No, I'm the voice of the Degens. Broken C tried to ban my new album. They like send me, they don't wanna hear no alpha. I sold 12 on day one, I got powers. And Sammy know that he bought one the first hour. I only sold 12 cause they stopped sales. I swear where 3 is body to hell. Timmy hit it with a hammer on the nail. 2 ETH, 2 extant sales. Shout out Cobra, man, it's been a roller coaster. We got my ties like Costa Nostra. Go fuck a broken sea, I'm tryna find an ocean. Crypto J got the plays and the potion. Let's fucking go, we all gon' make it. Broken sea, bro, but I didn't break it. I gotta file a lawsuit, I can't take it. Somebody mad, somebody jealous, somebody hate. Broken sea tried to ban my new album. They like Sammy, they don't wanna hear no alpha. I sold 12 on day one, I got powers. And Sammy know that he bought one the first hour. Private dev customer service. The way they be moving, they be making me nervous. And I just say their name one time on purpose, cause they is worthless. Sheesh. We didn't do it, they ain't got it. Got the devs out here, honey potting. Somebody call the police. I thought this was Web3. Where the gatekeepers? I mean, CEO.
Back at it. Voice of the Degens. Topic 2. It's a really good topic too. The truth about online dating and why it is not as effective as people believe. Well, with me, I'm not sure how anyone could believe it could be any other way. In this world we're living in today, we've let technology use us instead of us use technology. There was a time where my other half didn't have to get on the internet to make a point. I'm trying to find a very good way to say that. So if me and my significant other decided to get into an argument of any kind, there was a time I didn't have to worry about the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of inbox messages that she might see. It's easily to be, the internet makes it very easy to entertain bullshit. I remember a time where if somebody tried to set you up on a blind date, you wouldn't do it. 9 times out of 10, like, I don't know them, I don't know nothing about them, don't know what they look like. But as time has gone on and technology's advanced, it's almost the go-to move. I remember 10 years ago, I would ask how many people have been on a date from somebody they met on Facebook. The numbers are outrageous now. Back then, it was, I say 5 out of 10. Nowadays, it's more like 9 out of 9. It's hard pressed unless you got married before the internet inception. There's a high possibility that someone has dated someone that they had never met before beyond the computer screen. It's not a real world. And shout out to all the relationships that have success at this. Like, okay, you met your wife on, you met your husband on Match.com or Facebook, even Facebook, right? Messenger or some shit, Snapchat or whatever it is. The numbers aren't in their favor though. And I think it directly correlates with the advancement of high divorce rate. I mean, divorce rate's been pretty high for the last 30 years, but it's at a peak even at this point. I believe that we've taken the internet and made it the end all, the be all for all ways of showing your success. So people aren't getting married anymore because they want to get married. They want to get married for the show. It's a shame when people are looking and they're, you're taking pictures in your head before you actually get your camera out. Like, that's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one to post. It gets a little tricky. And someone like me who's very pro organic everything, we're all on Telegram right now. If somebody sends you a message right now and you don't know who they are, you don't have any mutual groups, you don't have anything to do with it, you're 9 times out of 10 you're not even going to look at the message. It's straight block, straight delete. Get this off my phone or my computer, because I could just imagine how you're about to try to take advantage of me. But I think that's what internet dating is and online dating is. It's like, you think you're making a choice because you have so many choices. But the culture, just like we were talking in the last topic, the culture doesn't align with what you're actually looking for in a real way. But it's getting scary because the youth that are being born today, they're born into what we're in, and they're going to be okay with it. They're going to be okay with that ideology. Yeah, I could find a girl. I have to talk to 5 girls. I got a girlfriend. She's online. She lives in Indiana. Oh, okay, son. 14 years old, talking to some other 14-year-old supposedly from Indiana, and you think that's your girlfriend. I think that that's going to be the norm, and that's even scarier. Let me get a count in here.
Yeah, just real quick. Maybe you said it earlier. It's about the show. Maybe that's what it's all about.
And it's sad because where's the love? Where's what you're building on in this so-called relationship? And I'm gonna do a poll before it's all said and done. Like, how many people married, first time married, no divorces? You guys are gonna be together for. Well, I'd like to ask: is anybody who met on Facebook and 10 years later your marriage is still going strong? I think the numbers are well below what an organic marriage deals with. But organic marriages have the same problems. I'm not going to act like that's not the situation. Maybe I get a woman's perspective. How you doing, Spring is Dead? Talk to him.
I'm good. So I mean, I agree. I feel like it doesn't really work. I got married when I was 18 years old, and it was not someone from Facebook, but someone, I think it was Face the Jury. Do you remember that?
Nah, I never caught that wave. Tell us about it.
That's where I met him, and I mean, like, it didn't end up so well. And I don't necessarily feel like it's like impossible though. Like I think that it can happen.
It's difficult.
Yeah. Long distance makes it worse, I feel like. I mean, a lot of the times when you meet people online, Facebook, wherever, Telegram, they're like the whole country away. So that makes it difficult.
Another part of it is that most of the people you meet online, you got to understand, these people are making profiles. They're making it to make a person reading it appeal to them. So it's not like they're giving you like, yo, my feet stink when I take my shoes off. So if you can't deal with that, I might not be the man for you. I don't see that on the internet. It's always going to be a high level of praise to themselves. Very narcissistic, but sociopath, whatever you wanted to call it. Very, very much so. But that's how we operate. It's the system now. So of course you're going to show me all the best pictures. So of course you're going to show me all the best life experiences. You're going to show me all of that. But you don't tell me about your last relationship. Right. And another thing, people need to get more honest with who they are. If you really want to find love, you're going to have to be honest with yourself at some point and say, look, I've got issues too. There's not a soul on this earth that I've met I mean, even a nun. Everybody has issues. So if you don't come into a situation laying out your problems and the things that may not be favorable about you, I think if online dating was just totally ass backwards, okay, let's not talk about my successes. Let me tell you why I think I'm here, because I don't have a partner. This is the reasons I don't have a partner. And don't make it all about, well, men aren't shit, women aren't shit. Don't do that. That may be true. But and put yourself in that situation and say, well, no, I attract ain't shit people. So add that to your list of problems. Like, yo, I make some questionable decisions when it comes to relationships, and I really don't want to keep making those kind of decisions. I know these are my problems. I know these are my problems, and I know these are the problems that why the last relationship didn't work. Because we both he had these problems, I had these problems. But most people, it's always a point of the finger. And I'm not singling women out here. I just happen to only date women. So I've heard the stories from a women's perspective, but I've also heard women tell me about, their past experiences with men. And it always like comes down to some shit like nobody wants to take the blame. I was perfect and this motherfucker did me bad. It's always that story, and that's so not natural.
Yeah, I mean,
not saying it's not true, but it's just not natural for both sides. Both sides are gonna have issues. Go ahead, Spring. I don't want to cut you off.
no, I mean, I just think that that's kind of normal for, humans. Like you don't want to see your own faults. You see other people's faults.
Yeah.
You like to blame it on somebody else. But I mean, I think nobody's perfect. And I think that that's, that's really what it all comes down to. Nobody's perfect. We're all gonna make mistakes. We all mess up.
And we're
And you
and
can't.
knowing that no one is perfect, to be dating in a place where no one's gonna be imperfect. That's why
Yeah.
I don't believe it's effective. I didn't
I mean,
even make this question. It's not like I wrote the question. This literally got kicked to me from AI. Like, I always go get my questions from AI because I know it can be looked at on a broader scale. Yeah, people aren't cool with not being perfect, and especially online. I mean, if your hair is nappy and you go out in public, everybody can see it. But online, you'll never post that nappy dude. You never post that snappy nappy.
exactly.
And I
Exactly. But I
think,
think a
go
lot
ahead.
of that comes from, like other people can have the same faults, but if you see those faults online, you can talk shit about it, knowing that you have those same faults, like you have that same shit that you're dealing with, but you're going to talk shit about somebody else because nobody else can see like your shit.
That's a scary world to live in going forward, because everything that happens is a snowball effect. I believe most things, you cannot stop a snowball once it's going. And if that's where we're going into the future, where people are going to bully people about things that they have the same problem, like, and we're doing it so openly, like it's okay, and it's really not.
You talk about bullies. You can't make fun of anyone without making fun of yourself first. That's the way it is. You have to make fun of yourself first. Like you should be the subject of all of your bullying before you can make fun of somebody else openly. Like it's like you should pick on yourself before you criticize somebody else.
Definitely
I
pick up a
agree with
mirror
that.
and look in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pick up a
Absolutely.
mirror and look at it before. I believe
Yeah,
that's the real
you
problem with
always
online dating.
you
I
always
believe that's
make
the real problem.
You always make
Yeah.
yourself look lower than the person you might intend to make fun of. Like if you're gonna tease somebody, you always make yourself look lower than that person before you tease them.
And the age-old quote is, same thing that make you laugh will make you cry. And the same people you see on your way up, you're going to see them same people on your way down. So, be conscious of that. And I was saying that I think that's one of the biggest problems in dating online, is because you can't do history checks on a lot of things. People can eliminate history from these pages. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. You got men who identify as women who post a picture of them and they look like women and they're on these dating profiles and whatnot. But damn all that, catfishing's been going on for a long time. You think you're going to find love in a place where 99 out of the 100 people here are here to scam you or waste your time? Now, some people like to fuck. Maybe that's what it really comes down to when it comes to internet dating. You're horny. That's what's really going on here. Because you can go to the grocery store and meet someone from somewhere where you're from, or someone who lives in the same society, the same village, all of these things. And there's so many, because marriage is so looked down on, there's so many single people in the world. You got a better chance of finding your soulmate in the Trader Joe's produce aisle than you do on the internet. Because if you're at Trader Joe's, they're at Trader Joe's, that's something very organic that's an actual thing y'all have in common.
So
Nothing starts off.
do you think, though, that like the internet dating scene, especially like long distance, is more about the attention that you get, not so much the actual like relationship? Because I feel like
I think it is about attention. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, that's really all you're getting from it. I feel like you can go from, one person to the next person to the next person, get the same shit, and never
as a
really
woman,
have to deal with them.
As a woman, you definitely got that, right? I don't know too many men who just got 100 DMs from random women saying, "Hey, you're cute," or anything like that, right?
Hey,
But that's the
Greg's
problem.
here. Greg does. Greg gets
Greg
all
is a
the
real
ladies.
player. Okay, player. But
Secret Agent Q gets him all the time, man.
Oh yeah, with that damn accent, man. I won't let him
Right.
10 feet around my woman. He can't be nowhere around my woman. But that's a real problem in this thing. Like, you're dealing with a person who that they can go get attention at any time. So at any point that you may point out a flaw of theirs or something that because in a relationship, I believe that both sides are going to have, unless they just click perfectly, there's going to be different things that are going to be changed along the way. In my relationship, my wife doesn't like to have the TV on at night. I can't sleep without noise. So we had to find some kind of middle balance to all of this. Now it's keep the TV on if you want. Keep it all the way down, though. It's very low. And these are the select shows you can watch when you sleep, because she hates King of the Hill, and I could watch that 24 hours a day. I literally do. And Trailer Park Boys, like, I've burned her out. But
God damn it, Bobby.
God damn it. It's propane. It's crazy, but if she doesn't agree with what I got going on, she can go get attention elsewhere, and it's artificial attention. It's a guy who literally has a phone in his pocket and he's bored. He's not thinking about you when he puts that phone up. Trust me, I've been that guy before. Listen, I just was bored. Hey man, I needed some attention too. One thing men don't talk about too much, they like attention too. So if I'm going through it and my wife's like, no, turn the TV off, I can go on the internet and I can say, oh man, I talk to somebody, man, my wife is so hard on me. She won't even let me watch TV to go to bed. So another woman who doesn't know me at all, who doesn't know a thing about me, but it just sounds like a good thing to say because we can keep this attention thing coming back and forth because we're both craving it. Oh man, if you were my man, yeah, I would never make you turn the TV off. Hell, I'd sit up and watch it with you. And it all sounds good on that text message. You even read it in her, you type into somebody and don't even know their voice. You just reading it in the voice that's like, that's how artificial this shit is. And I just don't think I've seen very many effective relationships birth from the internet compared to the produce aisle at Trader Joe's. Since we got Spring is Dead, how about I let you get the last word on the topic of online dating?
I just want to know, though, like you were just saying, like your wife's there, you're messaging with somebody else. Is that cheating?
Yes, to a level, to a degree. Yeah, I mean, you're mentally doing it. Yeah, I believe in that. I think anything you gotta hide from your partner is cheating. Shit, if you went to McDonald's and didn't get her a burger, that's cheating. If you eat in the car,
Okay.
if you eat in the car because you know that you don't want to buy the whole family food, I think that's mentally you cheating on me. Okay.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I'm just being honest. I mean, what do I know? I'm just a dumbass DJ, but I'm telling you, yeah. But at the end of the day, cheating culture has become the norm. And it's crazy because polygamy is on the rise. Meaning, and from women are more okay with this. So if you felt like you needed to go talk to someone else, but you felt like the person you say you love, you can't talk to them about what you're trying to, because what are you trying to accomplish when you're texting that other girl? Like, that's the problem in life right now. Nobody wants to display their ulterior motives or be judged for what their ulterior motives is. My wife's reasons for being with me, I really don't know, but whatever the reason may be, I don't know. She won't tell me. I won't tell her what my ulterior motives are. I'm not sure if I fully grasp what my ulterior motives is. Maybe it was marriage to a really good person that I didn't have to worry about going to cheat on me and all that. I picked the winner, I think. But she'll never know my ulterior motive. She'll never know why I wrote her a poem to get her attention. She'll never know, like, I'll never know why she called me back after I wrote the poem. I just think that we struggle with just being real about who we are and what our intentions are, and no one like I said, I think a lot of people date on the internet because it's like easy access to sex. I really do believe that. Like, no one would know. It's nobody's business. It's not all out in the open. It's new. It's a new person, so like some kind of excitement that goes with that. But I think after the first meeting, what they say, I saw a movie where he said, man, you get the woman of your dreams. The problem is that eventually she becomes real. She's actually a person. You're not dreaming it anymore. This is who you got, and you got to take everything that comes with it. For that reason, I tell you, man, go to the produce outlet, Trader Joe's, and stay off this internet shit unless you want to end up dating a girl who's not really a girl. But anyway, we're going to get into the next topic, the role of being a producer in today's music industry and the importance of balancing artistic vision with commercial success. I got a lot of insight on that, being who I am. And I'll let you guys get a little bit more deep with me on that. But for the moment, we're about to get into another song break. I appreciate everyone weighing in, man. You guys are being a wonderful crowd, wonderful panel. Everybody's giving great game, and I'm so happy that we're going to be able to put this out there for the people so they can, they got something they can listen to that's a little bit different. I don't hear too many podcasts that go down the paths we go, and I just appreciate you all. So we're going to knock it out with another song or two, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes, and we'll talk about some music, and then we'll finish out with topic 4 and 5. This is the voice of the Degens. I am your host, RickeyTru, the host with the most, your modern day smokesman.
All my niggas getting paper, all we do is get it, 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 get it. All my bitches getting paper, all they know is get it, 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 get it. If you a clown and move around, if you know that you ain't really with it, 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 with it. Make a play, bust it down, then we move it through your town, and we split it, split it, split it, split it, split it, split it, split it. Couple plays, 100K, man, my nigga can't get dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it. Yeah. You to my Captain Push, she to my Captain Lamb. Might say fuck Uncle Sam, he wasn't up in the gym. Look in the mirror, that nigga the man. 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 100 grand, I need that. Them low boots, I need that. Alright shirt, I need that. With my girl, I need.
I feel a little bad. The crypto chick. If you want to weigh in on that last topic, go ahead, throw your hand up. I didn't know if you were in on that last topic. There you go. Go ahead and end this out. No, let's
Hey,
type it.
I did want to say, like, from a person's perspective of somebody, I've never ever been on a dating app in my life. So I feel like that it kind of like when you like get to know like every single thing about the other person, it kind of takes away the mystery and the excitement of getting to know each other, which is what kind of bridges and builds you together. So I just definitely agree with you 100%, to organically, meet somebody, no matter where it's at, and if you have like that chemistry and that synergy with each other, then, take it to a next level and everything. But yeah, I'm a no-go on the dating apps. Good luck to everybody.
All my niggas getting paper, all we do is get it, 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 get it. All my bitches getting paper, all they know is get it, 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 get it. If you a clown and move around, if you know that you ain't really, really with it, with it, with it, with it, with it, with it, with it. Make a play, bust it down, then we move it through your town, and we split it, 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 split it. I just might cop the ass, she just might cop the lag. I'm fire black on black, no ain't no turning back. Bitch, I ran off the map, posted up with stat. We don't do no cap, that mean it's all facts. Look in the mirror, that nigga the man. 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 I need bread, I need that. Them low boots, I need that. Alright, shirt, I need that. With my girl, I need that. All my niggas getting paper, all we do is get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it.
We're back. Voice of the Degens. I'm going to topic 3. The role of being a producer in today's music industry, the importance of balancing artistic vision with commercial success. I'll start it off. I'd like to say firstly that I got to work on some really, really, really big records over my lifespan. Some not as big as others, some very, very, very huge. And then I was an artist at the same time. So that kind of made my workload really, really heavy. Balancing trying to go for commercial success. I've been blessed enough to have commercial success, but it always tended to go against my ultimate artistic vision. I knew that I'm a great songwriter. And more so, I'm even a better music producer. But I get in the studio with guys who, they're not necessarily looking for my artistic vision when they're using my production. And it kind of bothered me early on. And then I got older and more time went by, and I learned that those people are just as creative as me. So me being a guy who always tells you guys that, man, I hate the music of today because it's the content. It's what they're talking about. It's a bunch of degrading conversation. It's a lot of things that break your spirit, break your spiritual compass to whatever higher being you know of. We're sitting around, we're talking about guns now, we're talking about drug use, drug abuse, because it's one thing to use drugs and it's a whole different thing to abuse them. And they've made it where it's popular to abuse drugs, abuse women verbally, even I've heard them say, I'll smack a bitch. I said, whoa, okay. It's like, you're selling this to the kids, man. And I just never stood on those kind of morals. And I might do production for people who that's exactly what they're going to talk about. And it bothered me. But without some of those artists using my production, maybe I wouldn't have got to commercial success. So as a producer, I had to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable what my creation was going to be after it left my hands. We used to have to send the beats off to the record label, and the record label would go through the beats, siphon through them, give 3 to this artist. We might come in with a beat disc of 50 beats, and we'd have to give 5 to this artist, 5 to this artist, and it's all on someone who's not even making the music. So they're not the dude behind the desk at the record label. He doesn't make music. He says that he's got a good reputation for finding great music, but he's not a creator. So at this point, as soon as the beats go off, I sent off 50 beats. He decided who was going to get it. I didn't get a chance to make that call myself. And they put you in this box where you are just a producer. They don't, like, I've done music, I don't want to name anybody, but I remember asking for someone in particular's phone number because I just felt like there was a certain part of a song that I heard that could have been better. But the label was not behind me on that. They didn't. And so I immediately understood when I gave them the beats, I lost all critique over them. It is what it is. They have it. It's theirs now. There's nothing I can do about it. But you have to play your role. Now, me, after having commercial success, I don't have a need for commercial success anymore. So on the back end of things, you know, the first 15 years of this, yeah, I kind of needed some commercial success because I wanted to reach other artists that were at commercial plateaus that I could keep growing. But there's a new wave, you know, of kids. They make beats different. It's all digital. It's no analog. They're able to do it from headphones. They can record the songs from the laptop. Trying to be a critic of it as a producer, you're gonna beat yourself up for nothing. It's either one of two things. You're gonna take the money that they're giving you for this production, or you're not gonna produce for them. And if you go with the latter, like I did, now I decide who I work with. I had a buddy, he was a photographer for artists, and he was like, he does like album cover pictures and things. He actually takes it. So he told me, I asked him what would it take for him to do one of my covers, and he was like, I was like, I'm gonna be at a party this week, man. You invited? No, I'm lying. He was going to a party. He invited me to the party. We had never met. We had chopped it up online, and when I got there to that party, I did take his invite and I went, and we met up, and I asked him. I said, so how do I get you to I like your work. I want you to do my album cover. And he looked me straight in my face and said, I work pro bono. He said, I work pro bono because that way I never have to work. I'm never on no one else's schedule. I never have to do work I don't want to do. And every work I want to do, I do. And if they want to give me money for it, that's cool. But I was already on board to do it because they fit into my artistic vision. I mean, in a photographer, there's an artistic, approach to what they're doing. And that's why some of them make the big bucks and some of them never make it out their grandma's basement. Right? So your role as a producer is simple and plain. To all my producers out there, to all my music engineers and all of that, your job is your job. Come with the production. There's going to be a high chance that you're going to end up working with people that you don't necessarily agree with. But they have a right to create what they believe is, a representation of their artistic vision. So you got the kids, that's why I love Vanessa Carlton. Yeah, Vanessa Carlton. 1,000 Miles. That was the song. Yeah. The little youngsters, they went and did the song called When I See You wasn't that one. It was 1,000 Miles, right? And this ended up being a song about these young kids who had killed like 10 other people They were their enemies in their own city. So they name them. It was called Who I Smoke. Now, typically, artists are not in the bit, and I mean old school artists. I'm talking your artists from the 90s and the 80s, like, because that's the new old school. They're not very friendly when it comes to sampling their work. They believe, because they believe in their artistic vision. And I don't want nobody fucking that up for what I've done already. But Vanessa Carlton, being cool as she is, knowing what she knew about the song, and people, ridiculed her for that. Like, do you know what the song's about? And she said, it's not about what the song's about, but it is about what the song's about. The song, you may hear this kid say, who I smoke, this guy, who I smoke, that guy. That may be what you're looking at, but that's not the biggest issue here. The fact he's saying what he's saying, and he feels what he's saying, and he feels he has to live his life like that, that's the real problem. And if I have to clear a sample for them to use it so the world can wake up and say these kids in Florida are killing each other over old school music, and we have to do something about it. So think about that in the perspective of balancing your artistic vision with commercial success. The song was hot before she agreed to let them use it. They were already using it. But she didn't decide to take a whole bunch of the publishing. She really was trying to, in this way, because by the way, Vanessa Carlton, she pins her own music, so she plays every instrument, a couple of instruments, but that piano was very prevalent in there. She sees it a different way, and in her doing the original, them remixing it and making it what it was, it's two totally different artistic visions, but there was a message for both sides once she allowed it to happen. So as a producer, I believe you guys focus on the beats. Focus on the beats. Eventually you'll get to a position where you'll get to make the decisions about who you make the music for. But starting off, if you haven't had commercial success yet, when they ask for those 50 beat packs, you send it to them. And if you wake up one morning and you hear murder, murder, kill, kill on a song that you made the beat for, cry in the Lamborghini. Just go cry in your Lamborghini. You've made it. Now, I know it hurts. It's kind of different from your integrity, but now you have money. You can push your narrative a lot better now. It's not easy to have a reach and be broke. So get some money. Then you're able to do whatever you want to do. And I'm a spitting image of it. I just had a guy ask me, can I come do some music in one of their live streams or something? And I'm like, no. And he's actually a private investor in our project. Well, I should have told him, yeah. He'll hear this podcast and he'll say, damn, Ricky turned me down. I didn't even turn him down publicly. I just ignored. I sent love to the message, but I'm not in a position to want to do it. It doesn't benefit me in that way. And this podcast benefits me in so many other ways. So if anybody wanted to weigh in, go ahead and throw your hand up. I know my producer things is usually my spill. I love it. But yeah, to all the producers out there, man, there's lots of people who consume music, man, for different reasons. And do not marginalize yourself to whatever you think your audience is, and open up a little more and learn that as you grow by utilizing other artists to get on your music, it actually can help you in the long run. May seem like it goes against your ethics, but you're going to do some shit in this life that you don't want to do. And then when it's your time, then you get to pick and do what you want to do. Hey, this Crypto Chick, did you want to throw something in there real quick?
I sure do. Ricky True, I just want to say that you need to keep doing what you're doing because you've been a big inspiration, and you keep it real and your music is real. And you have been that one person that I met so many years ago that wanted to make a change for the musicians. And it's definitely has inspired me. And I have my music reaches so far now, and there's so many big things happening, you know, in the music space. So I'm still right there with you, you know, wanting to make that difference and give back to the artists. And it's about to begin, my friend.
Crypto chick. If you catch her out in public, she probably got a True World beanie on. She was the first one to go get her one. I respected it so much. So we're gonna get into this break. We coming back. Last two topics of the night: the ethics of data collection and privacy on social media, and topic 5: the influence of the press in shaping public opinion and political outcomes. We'll take a song break. I'll be right back in a quick second. Once again, it's your boy RickeyTru. I appreciate those kind words, Crypto Chick. We're gonna get into some more music, and we'll be back in the shake of a tail, as they say. Voice of the Degens.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road where I always seem to be. Every step I make, I see a new friend, but it ain't long till I get spun around and I'm gone again. And maybe tomorrow my whole world is settled out, but it ain't tomorrow, so I keep moving on. I'm down the road, it never seems to end. Full of track lines, rails, and lines around every bend. If you're gonna ride with me for a while, you better grab your cash, you better get you a strap, you know the True World style. Maybe tomorrow I wanna settle down, but it ain't tomorrow, so this whole world's still my home. And I got my own world waiting to unfold. In a Ziploc bag, I can drag this worn out soul. And I made it through so far, so I know it won't be long. I must be almost there, already paid my fare with this True World song. Maybe tomorrow my God will help me settle down, but it ain't tomorrow, so I'ma just keep moving on. Maybe tomorrow my God will help me settle down, but it ain't tomorrow, so I'm just moving on.
Back at it. Like a mother crack addict. Voice of the Degens. RickeyTru. And the whole team. Voice of the Degens. Topic 4. The ethics of data collection and privacy on social media. Another great topic. So, have you noticed that sometimes you're thinking of something, or you might say something out loud, and even though you know that your phone's not supposed to be picking up what you're saying, for some reason you might say, man, I want to put a play set in my backyard for my kids. And out of nowhere, all these ads pop up, directly trying to sell you play sets in your backyard. They almost even make it personal for you, like, you're looking for something for your new backyard. Here you go. Gotta ask yourself, when did I agree that they could collect my data? When did I agree that they could get in my business deeper than I already let them? Someone told me once before that we're going to be taken over by the internet either by consent or conquer. And we've consented to so much that we have no clue what we're consenting to. And we teach the kids today, we tell them, because, their new thing is that that's too much to read. I think when kids, these youngsters, not even kids, they're grown They're 25 years old. They don't know how to read, or they don't wish to read very much at all. And I feel like we're the same. We're always talking about them and what they're doing, but hell, when's the last time you read the actual user agreement to anything you signed up for? When you bought your car, they might have had some things in the contract that were highlighted, but you skipped over a lot of it. Yeah, you skipped over it. You're just as guilty. That's too much to read, right? But we've been given consent. And even though ethically they shouldn't play with us like that as a people, I mean, can you complain when you consent to it? It's a really good thought for me, because I'm like, you really don't need social media. You believe you need it, and I get it, but you don't really need it. What do you really need? You point me in the direction of more than 1% of the internet users who are making 7 figures off of social media. You know, they talk about how many followers Kim Kardashian has and how that correlates to how her products sell. But I'm in the music industry. I know what's really going on. I know that they buy their own products and then say they're sold out. I know that Kanye had some kind of farm that would buy all the shoes so he could actually resell them. And if it wasn't him, it was the owners of the company. It wouldn't surprise me if Nike was buying up all of his Adidas to resell them anonymously. But they're collecting data on us. And they're violating a lot of the privacy things that we actually look to keep us private and keep big business or big brother out of our business. And the ethics of it all is really, really shitty. It's about as integratable as putting Ronald McDonald in commercials, knowing that if you keep doing it, my kids are gonna beg me for McDonald's every time they see the sign. And then what happens? Those kids grow up eating McDonald's, and then they take Ronald McDonald away. So what? I was a kid. I remember Ronald McDonald. My kids will eat McDonald's. You ever peep that you ain't tripped that the kids have never seen Ronald McDonald today? Yet they still, mommy, daddy, McDonald's. They'll cry if you pass it. Yeah, man, that's some pretty shitty ethics, if you ask me. But the owner of McDonald's, I think we talked about it in the last episode or an episode before, where he said, man, the kids are the future consumers of the world, and therefore they are fair game when it comes to advertising. Tell that to Joe Camel. It's just really a fucked up situation we're in. Data collection, let's explore another company that does data collection, and they actually are a top 500 company, I'm sure. What is it? Tesla? They're not a car company. They're a data collection company. And the way they see it is, if you give us 10 years of putting these cars on the road, these cars are nothing but data collectors. And we'll know everything about every road in America or across the world if you let us put our cars there. We'll know how bad the traffic is on every. We can pinpoint every single question we have about any individual, any group of people, strictly from the data we collect. Data collection is forever. So think of Twitter. You can go, you see how many people got canceled after they got popping? Oh, they was one of the, they out of nowhere, they just became really, really famous. And then somebody says, well, wait a minute. 8 years ago, you said slavery was a choice. I can use that one. I just used that one. That was a quick one. But yeah, like, they bring it up like, oh no, and then they cancel you. You're getting canceled from the data that was collected and never eliminated. I really do believe that if you're a company that is in the business of dealing with people and their feelings and thoughts on paper or on in writing, then you should most definitely be deleting the data. But we live in a world where, terrorism, kids shooting up schools, hate crimes and bullying and all of those things. So they got us to consent to the data collection. Why? Because they had some ulterior motives that nobody's ever going to talk about. There goes that point again today. Everybody has an ulterior motive, but no one shows who they are or what they're doing it for till it's too late. I'd love for someone to come in and talk about their views on the ethics of data collection and privacy. I don't even just want to talk about social media. I'm talking full spectrum. I don't think your boss should know what you go to the doctor for when you go to the doctor. But if you call off sick, he wants a doctor's note. And that's just a little too much information for someone who doesn't live in my house. I don't care how much you pay me. I think that if you were injured in high school, but you're a top tier athlete that could possibly go professional, I don't think that the owners of those teams should be able to pull up you breaking your leg in the 8th grade. It's really none of their business. The business is, can I do the job you're asking me to do? Can I make whatever the situation is, can I make it happen in real time? But we don't live by those ethics no more because we've consented to the new way, the bullying. We subscribe to this. We don't believe anything is bad. We think all bad shit is funny. So if I say, shut your fat ass up, you're not going to get nobody saying, hey, man, you shouldn't talk to people like that. You're going to get people going, kick. That's some DJ lingo for you if you don't know the kick. Hey, the accountant, weigh in with me, sir. Shoot us your flavor.
Is it because we've placed a dollar value on people's worth too?
Most definitely. Most definitely. And we're living in a world right now also where people are being paid before they're proven. I saw Michael Jordan make a statement the other day, and he said, when you think about it. He said all these kids have NIL deals. I'm not sure if y'all know what NIL deals are, but they used to didn't let athletes, if you weren't pro, you couldn't get money. You couldn't make money from business or the industry that you were in, or the system you're in. So if it was the NBA, you couldn't get paid in the NCAA. You couldn't get paid in high school. Now they can. So you have kids running around. He's 18 years old. It's one that just happened to Mikey Williams. Look it up. Mikey Williams pulls a gun. I think he might have killed someone. I'm not sure exactly what happened. There's a lot of indiscrepancies in the story. But Mikey Williams has been a highly touted NBA prospect for 5 years. He already had signed NIL deals in the worth of like $7.7 million or some shit like that. Right? He has never stepped foot on an NBA court. He is so unproven. But they're giving him this money. Jordan said we had to work to get those kind of checks and not those kind of checks. There are players that played with Jordan that never made $7 million in their whole career. This kid that's 18, that's never played a day in his life, already has $7.7 million waiting for him, and then he goes and does some dumb shit with a gun. So yeah, go ahead, accountant. I just wanted to throw that into perspective. It's definitely because we're putting dollar amounts on people. I typically say, when they talk about women using men for money or using their what they're given for money, and I say, man, there's prostitutes that are selling ass for $40 a pop. You put a value on it, and it doesn't matter if it's higher or lower. The best value you can have on that box of yours is zero. Because now somebody has to do something other than money to get to it. But we're not living in that world anymore. By the way, if that's your lifestyle, they got the data. How many kids are gonna when their kids when they when your kids start asking this generation or talking bad to them, talking about your mom was on OnlyFans. I paid for her subscription, $7. What kind of world are we raising these kids in? But it's all data collection. There's pictures I've deleted from my Instagram that if I search the keywords I used in that picture on Google, it'll pop up on somebody else's data collection. So even when I want to get out the game, even when I want to eliminate everything I ever said before, there's no way out of it. Somebody's going to be able to pull up the shit.
Well, the only way to get rid of it is if the whole system gets wiped.
Yeah, and I think it's about time for change. When I started the Voice of the Degens, I said we need a reset button. It started when I was talking about the music and these kids and the shit they talking about, and I said, nah, we need a reset button. You can't stop these kids from being who they want to be, but you can stop the perpetuation of what they feel like they want to be. I hear these kids, they talk about, I got this kind of gun. I got this kind of gun. I'll shoot you this way. I'll shoot you that way. And 99% of them have never shot a gun in their life. And even if they shot it, they didn't shoot it at nobody. And for somebody with guns and got all that going on, you think that you'd have a video of you shooting at the range and showing me that they were all at the heart. You hit nothing but head and heart. Never heard it. Never seen it. But it's in the data collection. If you ever go to court, which Young Thug is facing right now, because he said, the line is, I gave my lawyer close to $2 million. He handles all the killings. That line is a very big part of his court case coming up. I'm not sure if he was talking about killing anyone. I'm not even convinced that it was anything more than it sounded cool the way he said it. But now he's being held in a jail that they won't give him bail. And the biggest topic is, what did he say on that song? There's a murder case involved in that RICO. He's not charged with it. He's not the killer. They know who the killers are.
Everything nowadays is based on intent, unfortunately. It's
facts.
It's the system works until you're an adult, you don't realize that the system actually works against you.
Yeah. And it's gonna continue to work. Like I told somebody, I was like, I went to court one time. I hadn't been in trouble 10, 15 years at the time. But when you get to court, they're going to pull up everything you've ever been arrested for. So, and they don't talk about time frames. They don't say, well, 13 years ago, Your Honor, he was arrested for shoplifting, or 2 years ago, he was arrested for burglary. And then a year ago, he might have been involved in a shooting. He got arrested for it. They don't put a timeline on it. Everything they say that you've ever done, it sounds like you did it yesterday. And that's how they sell it in the court. And they're going to use it against you. You better believe it. Which brings me to topic 5. The influence of the press in shaping public opinion and political outcomes.
They're terrible. They're terrible.
I mean, y'all read, when's the last time anybody in here read the New York Times or the Los Angeles Times? Actually got a physical copy and said, that's how I'm waking up in the morning and I'm going to read the paper. I'll give you one better. Go find somebody, anybody, in the age range of 40 and below who gets up every morning and reads the newspaper. We don't do it anymore. And back then, the newspaper gave you the news from yesterday, today. Now, social media, when Tina Turner died, I knew 20 minutes after it happened. When LeBron lost got swept in the Western Conference this year, it was in my face within 30 seconds, along with about 500,000 memes about the situation. So that's a part of the new press. This is the new press. The new press isn't when's the last time anyone watched the news? Do you get up with your family at 7 o'clock every night and watch the 7 o'clock news after Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune goes off? No, not in the majority.
About every 3 months, when my in-laws come to visit, maybe once.
And you catch them, they still do it. They still a part of the old world. Perfect. But look at the new world you're living in. We don't even watch TV
like
anymore.
They have to.
You said what?
It's a ritual for them. It's like they have to, or they can't sleep at night.
Right. And back in the day, that news actually swayed how you felt the next day when you woke up. Man, we hear about these school shootings. I don't read papers. I don't watch the news. We hear about these school shootings and things like that, or these crazy-ass mass shootings and things like that. But we've heard it so many times, we're immune to it.
Well, it's
we're
the
like
same way now. They're the same way. I mean, it's like I think the last topic she was on constantly was the border. It was like the border this, the border that, and I'm like, what are you watching? Will you please stop?
Right? You worried about the border, but there's so much crazy shit. And then when you live in such an evil world, like, answer me this, accountant. Have you ever seen the world this dark in your lifetime?
No. And I mean, I have relatives that are close to 100 years old that actually have expressed concern, like, oh, we haven't seen anything like this. I mean, they've lived through the Depression, you know? And it's like, what are we going through? What's going to happen next?
And no one has the answers. And no one's giving us the answers. It's not like it's on the 7 o'clock news. I mean, I watched ABC World News maybe a month ago because it was a story that I saw on my phone and I wanted to get some more insight on it, and I figured the news might be able to give it to me a little better. But they were giving me the same information that every media platform was giving. And then we find out that how mass media actually works.
Well, tell me this: have you ever seen people so divided and they can't provide a really good reason?
No, I've never seen that. I'm lying. I believe people have always been that way about politics, and I think that I think a lot of people are clueless about politics that are talking about politics. So when I seen the division of Democrat versus Republican, and me being a black man, you got to understand that my whole life, I was made to believe if I wasn't a Democrat, I wasn't black. That's the power of mass media. Like, it wasn't the news people telling me this. I was seeing it in comedians doing stand-up. I was seeing it from rappers. Like, they were talking about different things, and it was kind of like, it was just as bad as Joe Biden saying, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. It's like, whoa. My mom, I didn't know for a long time. I thought she was Democrat. She was a Republican my whole childhood. Never had a clue. She's not a Republican. She looked at the Republican Party in a better light than she looked at the Democratic Party, but she pretty much was independent. She would rather vote on green than vote for any of the two. But a lot of people.
I'm with her, man. I've been independent since I could register to vote.
Right.
So.
And I feel like I'm the same way. Like, man, I don't really lean to no side, but the pressures.
But doesn't that feels like something we're lacking? Is the option for the real third party, a legitimate third party?
No, I definitely believe that. I believe the Green Party is definitely more in tune with the people than politics, and that's probably why we never get a Green Party candidate that actually is successful. I really believe that.
Agreed. Totally agreed.
I mean,
you just have either you're far right or you're far left, and there's so many people that are like, I don't want that, but they choose the lesser of two evils, and so many of them would choose to just go right up the middle and everybody get along. And it's just like, we don't get the option because that's the way the government wants us.
Centralism is not cool to their ulterior motive. It is, again, the word of the day, ulterior motive. We all need to start looking at everybody's ulterior motives. Yeah, it doesn't fit their box. You know, it was the same with Trump. I mean, Trump could have ran Democrat, he could have ran Republican, wouldn't have mattered. He really just didn't fit in their box. He was totally different for good reasons, for bad reasons, whatever you want to call him out for. But you can't call him a politician. He just wasn't.
Well,
Never would be.
He was a Democrat for what, like
for
the
a
majority
long
of
time.
his voting life? Yeah, for
Yeah.
like 40 years. Yeah, he didn't change to Republican until what, the 90s, late 90s, something like that. I was kind of
This
surprised.
is a fact. That is a fact. And you look at how the topic being the influence of the press in shaping public opinion. This is the same guy that the media got voted in. He got in not just because of his personal get down, but just because he was in a Home Alone. People know him. They've seen him in movies, TV shows all their life. Then boom, he's gonna run. They never said none of this bad stuff that they saying today about him before he got into office. As a matter of fact, when he got into office, it was almost he was a shoo-in to do 8 years. I don't know what shifted. I know what shifted. He wasn't a politician. So it was like, we gotta get him the fuck out of here as soon as possible, and we gotta make sure he never comes back. But the same, they love you, then they hate you, and then they love you again. That was a quote from last week, right? But he is stuck in the hate moment right now. And they can do this with anyone. They can do this with anything. You had people arguing. We didn't care nothing about Republican, Democrat while this man was in office. We were worried about fucking COVID and whether we were going to get the shot or not. You had unvaxxed, vax, and what was the other one? Halfinated. Halfinated. I got one of the shots. I didn't get the second one yet. And you had people who were really willing to die or to push their cause. And I just watch people argue about things that we don't really know about, don't have enough information. But a lot of this shit was used to divide us racially, spiritually, and in the workforce.
Families.
Your auntie didn't want you at her house because you work at a job to pay your rent or your mortgage. But you can't go to your auntie's house for Christmas and she'll never forgive you for it. And she might die in the next year. And you might die in the next year. And we actually willing to fight each other about the most minuscule of shit. My mom got the vax. She's like 75 years old. Like, go ahead, you do that. Me, I'm not getting down like that. She don't really argue with me too much. She argued with me about it. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not gonna go get the families were divided, man. You had to decide if you were gonna put your kid up for a shot that hasn't been tested long enough. It's just the media has always been able to push their narrative, whatever, and they're owned by politicians, military, and pill companies. You go to TV now, there's going to be nothing but pill ads.
Oh, dude, so much is decided by the pharmaceutical industry. So much.
Pharmaceutical runs the globe. Health care, not health cure. They talk about all these cures and all these things we can do, but I haven't seen nobody roll out any of this shit. And any person who decides he wants to speak up about it gets unalived. I learned that from the kids. You can't say death and stuff like that on the internet, so you say unalived like it's not like it's any different. It's crazy. It's the media, it's the press, they shape us into who we are. We're watching the TV when the TV is actually watching us. And I really believe that. And I know it's real because when I say something like playset in my backyard, all the ads pop up. So that's how I see data collection plus the press and their mass media agenda of selling anything. They kind of got us by the nuts, man. And for the ladies, they got you by the tits, man. They got you. Boom.
Yeah.
Got you.
I agree with it 100%, dude. I've been like riding in the car and talking about someplace like a family member has gone to visit, something irrelevant to our daily lives completely. And then it's like 2 seconds later, you Google something. It's like, oh, here's an ad. Come and visit this place. I'm like, what the? Wait.
And I know I didn't agree to this. I feel like I didn't agree to this, but I might have agreed to this. And I think that
it's like I've never.
Go ahead.
I've never been here, you know. And you're like, you're getting this ad, and like, wait a minute, I just talked about this, and I've never looked at this. I've never been here. Like, what is this?
I got crypto chick winning.
It's creepy, dude.
Oh man, crypto chick. Let me get you in here. Talk to me.
Oh yeah, I have to jump in here because like your mom and I like worked for the same company, and I studied natural health for like 20 years, and I started when I was 17. And the doctor that I studied with, he went to 18 years of naturopathy college. The company that we were working with was so far ahead of its times. I was seeing hepatitis C cured. I was seeing cancer cured. I was seeing AIDS reversed. I was seeing just, like normal injuries that would take like so long to heal, just completely turned around and healed. We were the beginning of Go Green. We were educating about the water and the air and the food. It was like one of the biggest movements ever. They ranked #1 on Inc. magazine as the fastest growing company in the history of the United States. Beat number 2, 3, and 4 combined. It had never been done. And I had so much passion for it, for helping people. And it was just like, to me, it was like a breakthrough, like so many people were going to be helped. And next thing you know, we were working on $1 million grant. We were going to start natural health clinics next to every hospital in the United States and give an alternative to all these people. Next thing you know, government swoops in, shuts it all down, gone.
And doesn't say a word about it.
Yeah, and I learned at that point after doing so much research, and I dug into the control, and that's not what they wanted. They wanted at first I was like, okay, they just haven't had the answers, well, now they do, but it's not what they wanted. They wanted that control, and going back to like Donald Trump, I was reading about him way back then. He was the only one. His family had so much money, so he had both parties, coming to them for help. And filled their family in on everything. So he knew all the agendas that were going on, and I just, I can say that I don't get it, but I do. I get it. I have a clear understanding, on what's going on, and it's all about control. And we as people, we have to take all the information that we can find, and we have to like educate ourselves and our family, and we have to stay on top of it. We cannot just be controlled, and let them lead the way. We have to be leaders in this world.
Well said, well said. Okay. I've enjoyed this episode, man. This was so deep. And I really can't wait till next week because I know that I happen to know the topics before everybody else, but we got some more bullish ass topics. And me personally, I really, 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 really can't wait. I'm gonna get into the last song break of the night, and then we're gonna go right into our exit notes. And everybody who's here, man, different this week than usual, how I'm going to run it. The exit notes, I want you guys to give some exit notes and just let us know, give us the kind of insight that you want to end the day with after all the topics we've had. I think that we all had great insight today. And I want to continue that trend on the end of the episode. So I won't be doing my crypto picks because I didn't make any crypto picks. And we'll bring up some news, and I want you guys all involved. So I'm going to unmute everyone after this song break. And just feel free to jump in and anything we need to know about, any new crypto picks, plays that we want to talk about. We want to talk about any news that's in the update and give us your short thoughts on it. And I'm going to let you guys do the exit notes. Let's get one song left. And we'll be back in a second with the voice of the Degens. I am your host.
I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. I cannot miss this bull run. Being broke, that shit ain't no fun. I gotta get me some more Bitcoin. Gotta stay, gotta farm. I've been wrecking these G's for so long. I think I'm starting to become one. And I got a sniper, but that ain't no gun. I scratch a CL, son, they say it run. I've been fucking with all this, but I don't use leverage. Too many jaws, looking hella mirrors. So many rugs that I just stopped caring. I be in DC, fuck like a Karen. Soon as the album drop, cop on my clearance. They didn't help when I was down bad, so when I bounce back, you know I ain't sharing. Keep it a buck, keeping it clear. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. And that dev is not based. If he ain't paying, they tryna rush. They don't want make it. Whole lot of larp, they want you to shield. They want you to stay. They want you slaving. They don't got money and talk like they saving. Talking like they got it under control. They don't need marketing 1 week later. Project 6 feet under a hole. We never bounce back. Dev never buy back. He said I'll be right back. Investors don't like that. I see right around that. I G right about that, yeah. Bull run, bounce back. Waving my bull flag, yeah. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. And I don't buy shit coins, I'm legit coins. If they renounce, I show some love. If they holding supply, this shit is a dud. Most of the young beats smoking some buds. Beats on the scanner, he fucking it up. The name of the game is running it up. My cash up 2K, cause one ain't enough. Build me a team, so I'm really the plug. They don't want pay me, cause they can't pay me. They tryna get AI to replace me. That shit ain't cool, that shit is basic. And I'm so base, I record in the basement. I got that flavor and they hit the taste it. They hit the face me, they hit the love me. They love to hate me, that's what I need. It's still undefeated. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. Bitcoin bounce back. Bull run bounce back, yeah. Bull flag contracts. Blockchain bounce back, yeah. Blockchain combat. I had to bounce back. I had to bounce back, yeah. Still praying. Back at it. Exit notes. Voice of the Degens. I think everybody's unmuted. Anybody got some good news for me? Any news topics, anything new in the news that we all need to know about? Crypto related, red pill related, everything related.
Are we talking about projects? Because
We can throw the first. Let's start there. Let's start there.
Nothing? Nothing?
No,
Yeah. Do you own any nothing?
I haven't heard of nothing yet. How did I hear about that?
You gotta learn. You gotta learn.
So we got a nothing token going on around. Is that ETH or is that
You
BNB?
do. It's
Is that
BNB.
okay?
BNB.
Do we got a bullish dev on the line?
We do. We do. We have the best dev ever.
Okay.
Like in the history of all histories.
Give me your elevator pitch. 1 minute elevator pitch.
I mean, it's nothing. Like come do nothing with us.
Come do nothing with us. That's sounds about right in crypto.
Yep.
Hurry up and
Actually,
wait. Hurry up and wait.
we're not promising anything because there's nothing.
You're not promising nothing.
Exactly.
We're not doing
Just
nothing. We're
come,
just chilling.
exactly.
Chilling and chilling.
Just come do nothing with us.
Make sure you drop the link for the TG or whatever media form we're supposed to be checking out for nothing. Make sure you drop it in the comments for the last post inside of the channel. Anybody else got a crypto play? Talk to me.
I have a few. First of all, like I'm still waiting on Telegram to come up with like the little laughy emojis because that was that's hilarious.
Okay, that's crypto chick. Crypto chick.
Yeah.
Do you
Spring.
own any nothing?
No, but it reminds me of when the NFTs like really took off, and all of a sudden we were like, pretty soon they're gonna have like the empty box, you know, that's the you know, with nothing in it. That's the NFT, and next thing you know, it came, and it just
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh my
Nothing
gosh.
is everything. Nothing
You
is
could say it's the
everything.
project with the most billboards too in advertising, because every
Huh.
time you drive by a blank billboard, that's us. That's nothing.
We got billboards up all over the place.
It's nothing, guys.
Wicked.
Nothing here.
Wicked.
Okay, so, well, first of all, I want to give a shout out. I know you're using like the Audius platform, so I know it's not a new gem, but it's at such a low price right now. I'm definitely bullish on Audius. And then I had like the pleasure of meeting like the CEO and the team behind Child.Support. So we did, they partnered with the Giving Block, which is a huge deal, and did an interview with them. A big portion of everything that happens within their ecosystem goes back towards giving back to the kids, which is a really needed thing. And then, of course, Drake has his thing going on with Pure Tech that just launched on ETH. And what else?
Wasn't supposed to launch on the first. Like, what the fuck? We won't say anything about that. But can you explain to me this fucking child support bullshit some more?
The child support, so like they've been creating an NFT platform, and they're also building out an exchange. So like when everybody in the future, like if you normally would use like a regular exchange, it goes into the hands of the controllers and the market makers and stuff like that. But with this, like a portion is going to go towards like giving back to the kids. So it's like one of those things where, you know, when people do make like, you know, tons of money in this space, you know, if you need somewhere to like, you know, invest it towards actually going towards a good cause, that's definitely a good place to channel it. So
but how do we know
Is it
where
an
it's going?
established charity?
Like,
Like, is it
yeah, I
actually
mean,
an
how do
established
we
charity?
know where it's
Or
going? Are these people that owe child support and like the shit's coming out of their fucking crypto gains?
No.
Like, what the fuck's
Okay.
happening?
So I thought that when I first heard it too. It's not about like child support, like dads or moms owe child support. It's more about like No Child Left Behind, like helping the kids that need help, like, you know, St. Jude's, the Ronald McDonald House, different organizations that, you know, are helping children and everything. And the majority of them like don't accept crypto now. So the Giving Block is a big partnership with them because they have enabled people to be able to donate crypto, and it actually is transparent on the blockchain and goes towards those different organizations. So it's kind of like a way of opening the doors for different nonprofits to be able to accept crypto now.
That's actually pretty dope.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is if it's actually happening. Like, can
It
you
better.
see that it's happening?
I mean, I know that it's happening because, like, you know, they asked me a different project that, you know, a nonprofit that I was all about. My son has autism, you know, so I found one in Miami and they went and donated. So it's a new company. They launched about 2 months ago. And so they've already donated, you know, for over $45,000 towards different nonprofits.
And that could all be picked up. That could all be looked at on the blockchain, correct?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it.
I think I mean, you know, my question for all of this would be, I know personally, I know that a lot of the majority of charities will not take crypto payments. So
Right.
how are you getting around that?
They're
Like, how are
channeling it through the Giving Block. That's why the partnership with the Giving Block was so important. The Giving Block is like one of the top nonprofits out there, and they were built like years ago, you know, so they have an entire database of being able to donate like any cryptocurrencies and picking, you know, which nonprofit you want it to go to. Completely transparent.
Dope. I got to give a
Sounds
shout out to
good.
my guy Bone Funkenstein. I got to kick it with him IRL once, and that was a dope ass vibe, man. Down there in Oklahoma, I think. Crypto Chick, you were there too. Yeah, we all did.
That's
We took a little road trip. It's pretty dope, man. And I want to make sure I shout out my man Sylvester, Bandy Shoot, one of my good guys from the private. By the way, any of you who aren't in our lounge for the Voice of the Degens, make sure you send me a DM so I can get you a link there. We do a lot of scumbag DJ shit back there. Not scumbag, I'm lying, but we are all scumbags. But yeah, we just do a whole bunch of crypto shit back there, and anybody who doesn't have a link to the link yet, I mean to the group, make sure that
Ricky,
you shoot it to me.
you better send me a link.
Thank you.
I
Yes,
got you.
please.
I got you. I
Come
got
on,
you.
Ricky True. You know when you
Yeah.
first saw me, you thought I was 5'0".
I, that's not until I heard you play the guitar. I don't think Killers play the guitar that well, but yeah, he looks like he did. Hey, listen, Bone looks like the Bone Collector, man. Okay, I can't make
It's
this
good
up.
seeing you, man. Haven't seen
Good
you in a
seeing you,
while.
brother. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man. I appreciate you, man. We here every week, man. I had to take a day off yesterday. It was my son's birthday. We threw a little party out. Too many kids making noise. I had to, man, I'm going to just push it back for a day. But we're here every Sunday, man. And we're growing, man. We're just trying to keep it going, trying to keep this vibe that I believe is going to change lives. We're still pushing towards it every day.
Nice.
And I want all the good people together, man. Even if the bad guys come, you got too much good in the room. The bad guys leave. And we're not just good. We're smart. So you're not gonna sell us bullshit. We know the prices. That's a quote from last week. Any good news going on that nobody's talking about this week? Anybody hear anything crazy in the news?
I was in Miami for the last 10 days. And my good news is that I did my very first in real life interviews. So I did 6 of them. And I got to interview the people that have the very first car bought with Bitcoin. That was absolutely amazing. And then at the end, I ended up getting to interview Chairman Beaudry, who is the chairman for Miami-Dade County Cryptocurrency Task Force. And he's the lead there in Miami, making Miami the crypto hub, and working with different businesses to get them to accept crypto and things like that. So I have that video that's going to be coming out. It's available. They just got to do a little bit of tweaks to it. But that was absolutely amazing. So there's definitely big things going on in Miami. And my friends that I have out there that have a studio, they're doing really big things in the music industry, and I cannot wait to get all of us together.
What event was that you were down there at?
The Bitcoin conference.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I got my press pass and got to sit there at the I did the interview with the guys that have the car. This car was bought in 2013 with 1,000 Bitcoins, and it was totaled 3 years ago, and the guy was just going to completely salvage it. And so a team of cryptonauts came through and bought it, and saved it and completely, redid it. So it's brand new again. I got to sit in it, have a lot of video footage. So I went to their after party and stuff, and then they let me sit there and do the rest of the interview. So it was pretty cool. I was nervous in the beginning, but stepped up my game a little bit and did a little bit more in the space. So I worked with one of the guys that's working with the blockchain college out there, and just met a lot of really cool people. It was a lot of fun.
Don't hit that too hard, Mark.
Oh my bad.
Hit it harder.
That's what we needed today. That's what we needed. A nice little bone grip. Any Crypto Chick, since I got you here. By the way, Crypto Chick is she's been a friend of mine for a while. She worked with Crypto Mags. I think she still does biz with them. What are some new events coming up that we need to know about in the near, let's say, next 2 months?
Yes, so there is one coming up in Colorado, but the biggest one, which I added it to my Linktree /CryptoChick, is the Breathe convention. So this is the one we all need to be at. They've been planning it since pre-COVID. It's out in Vegas, baby. So I'll be out in Vegas in September, and I'm doing their media partnership. And they've been planning it for so long, and they had to shut it down because of COVID, and they've postponed it a few times. So I know, the Rogue Bunnies are going to be there. Ben from Marvel, I sent him to meet with all of them, and we just have so many communities, that are trying to get together to make sure and plan to all be there and meet up. And I think it's going to be absolutely epic.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Well, we get to the best moment of the day. I'm just gonna just go down my list. Everybody, give me a good 30 seconds. After all the topics today, after all the great conversation today, and I really want to hear what Bone has to say too, because he's after meeting him, I'm telling you, he's a really incredible dude, and I think he just got a lot of game. But I want to know, just everybody get a final comments of the day. I'll start with you, Crypto Chick, and I'll just go down the list.
Okay, my final comments would be good vibes, guys. Surround yourself around forward-thinking people. You guys lift each other up. We're all in this space together, and let's do everything that we can. I think we're still in a building season, so just keep building and working together.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you. What about my man Mark? Mark, you got anything for me? Some exit?
Yeah, man. My final thoughts are take a motherfucking vacation. No matter who you are, put the phone down for 2 or 3 days and just take a vacation and enjoy life. We all love crypto. We all work hard at it. But sometimes if you just put the phone down, you know what I mean? Smoke some joints, go for a walk, enjoy you know what I mean? It's a nice step back. And then when you come back, you're fresh and ready to go.
Well said. Well spoke. Have a joint. Have a vacay. Spring is dead. You've been very inspirational today. You got any final thoughts for me?
My only final thought is go check out Nothing, buy some Nothing, smoke some joints, buy some Nothing.
And smoke some more joints.
Yeah, exactly.
do nothing. I can dig it.
Nothing.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Hey, Bone, man, I'm definitely waiting for your comment, man. Talk to me. Give me something.
Well,
give me something to live life on.
I only got like a little bit of red pilling to do here. You can only be motivated by this economy by shame and guilt. You're either a kick-ass daddy or a smothering mommy, and you got to find the balance in between. This is what politics is. It's nothing but government plus bullshit. All right. So when you look at the landscape today, just fucking zoom on by, keep it straight, eat them and smile. All right. The big news is there's things coming out in the DApp Web3 arena that y'all haven't seen, and it's going to be huge, but you got to wait. You got to wait.
You gonna keep us posted?
Yes, I will. I can't talk about what I'm doing right now because, the mean authority worshipers won't let me, but it has nothing to do with government, and it's totally decentralized, and it's going to be huge. The bull market's about to kick off. You got to have a little bit of patience. So,
and I take Bone's word on that because Bone is a hell of a TA guy. If you don't know, now you know. Be friendly when you go DM him because I'm sure a couple people gonna want to know. But Bone is damn. If he says the bull's on the way, the bull's on the way.
So what we have right now, I predicted 14,800 was the bottom. I missed it. It was 15,400, but I was in range. We're ready to go. So start, keep your powder dry and let's go.
My man, there goes some more DGen lingo for you. CK, you around? CK might have fell asleep on me. What about you, Greg? Oh, CK. Go ahead, CK.
On my phone. Kicking back, listening. Pretty long podcast there, buddy.
Yeah.
Interesting concept.
No, but I don't think I have to say nothing. You already know how I feel about nothing, so just go look into Nothing.
So Nothing is the play. Okay, we go. Hey, that's the fourth mention of Nothing. We're definitely checking out Nothing. Make sure y'all drop them links. Make sure y'all drop the links so we can find out where to find it at. How about you, Greg? You want to end it with something nice?
Yeah, you might want to look in my links in my profile. BBR is going to be very big later this year or next year. We're having a zero tax event coming up there. Plus, I do have my own little project that pays up to 9% in B&B rewards, and I'll be building on that. I just need to build a community in there. So,
Sounds good.
Yeah, Burn Reflect has got some really cool stuff going on. They're gonna be having a zero tax buy event coming up. Usually it's 10 and 10. and our liquidity is going to be switched to Bitcoin. And then the next token will be BNB Burn Reflect, which will be backed by BNB. And then we'll have XRP and ETH. You know how that goes. So,
Righteous.
and you're
Okay.
going to have a stable coin in that ecosystem. When one of those is pumping, you can move over your tokens into that, grab those, and bring them back into a stable without having to leave the ecosystem. So
Nice. Okay. So I got CK, I got Greg, I got 27. Did you have anything you wanted to throw to this situation for the final notes? Give him a second. Second. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's good. Okay, how about you, Face? I see you over there.
Yeah, man. Everybody needs to check out JDB. It's just data from blockchain. We're a data aggregate. Got a DApp. We're gonna pretty much take over the scan space, I would say.
Righteous. Wallet watching and all that kind of shit, right?
Yeah, wallet tracking, watching all the blockchain data stuff. I'll drop a link.
Righteous. Drop a link for me, sir, and thank you for being here, man. Just coming to kick it. I got Bandy. Bandy, you going? You got something you want to add to a last statement for the podcast? Give him a couple seconds. I do happen to know that Bone had raised his hand back up, so let's go ahead and give Bone. Well, actually, before Bone, I'm gonna see if Zay Killer. I see my boy Zay Killer in the building. Zay Killer, you got any final thoughts for us? Final words for us?
Just keep tuning into the Voice of the Degens to get your top news of the day, the week, and the month.
My man, I appreciate it. Bone, go ahead.
No, I didn't. I was like fucking with buttons, and I think I accidentally hit the.
Well,
raise your hand.
Too bad. Well, that's too bad because you're literally the last person to talk. So you got to give us the end of the exit before we close it out.
Always look forward, brother. Always look forward. Don't look in the rearview mirror because it's not happening. It's already done. Let's move forward and rock this shit.
My man. And I'll give my final words of the night. We're all building. We're all going to another stage of what we've been chasing for the previous 3 to 5 years. I want everyone to take into account that nothing in this space or any other space will be given to you. I don't care if those basketball kids are getting $7 million to not step on the court. They still have to work their ass off, and they still have to put in the work in some way to keep what they've brought in. And I want to say that to all the Degens tonight that, like, yo, you cannot live off of last year's reputation. You can't live off of the year before that reputation. I know a Degen, and I'm so asshole, I'm going to say his name. I watched a guy named Rick Stoner go from the top to the bottom. And now he's back moving with the Degens. And I love him for it because he was so anti-Degen at first. And then he had to come back around because this is what hard work is. You're not going to be able to live off of your previous reputation. That means you're going to have to keep working. And I need you all to keep working because if we die out, it's scary what the next representation of a Degen will be. I want to say blessings to everyone. Top of the week. Take care of yourself. Make sure your health is good. Make sure you keep your wealth steady. I'm your host with the most, RickeyTru, your modern day spokesman. And this was Voice of the Degens, episode 6. See you next week, Sunday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're out of here. Goodbye, sirs.
We on the beat. I bet it's a classic.
Straight Degen.
DJ and shit only, that's all I know. I eat, sleep, and shit this.
My nigga Delta in the pots.
I'm a DJ and you know we popping out at every project. Still printing, we ain't worried about no bear market. I just ape shit, never lay shit. Check my playlist, voice of the DJs, but this time I'm going hard. 750 for the song is where I started. Nowadays I want 7 1/4. And nothing less than 10 E for the performance. And I might cheat out on your project while I'm performing. Boy, fuck your project, fuck your CA, fuck your TA. Boy, I'm the judge and I'm the jury and the DA. Plus I got clout, plus my rap, and I'm really based. And they mad cause I'm bullish and they really ain't. But I think it's about time for a VC raid. Yeah, I think it's about time for a VC raid. I'm a DJ and I'm on TG VCs every day. And they mad cause I'm bullish and they really ain't. Multi-wallet sniper buys, yeah, I'm lit. Yeah, only thing I'm thinking about is rich. How I get it, how I did it, how it does it. You gotta love it. But fuck your scammer, Debbie, know my EMS. Yeah, you better